Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am super excited for this video because I'm going to be doing a full review on the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism Blush Palette, and I'm going to start off by kind of doing the traditional review, just telling you my thoughts on the palette, how it works on my skin, how it lasts, all those details, and then at the end I'm also going to be including face swatches, which if you're not familiar, a face swatch is basically when I put foundation on, I do one side of my face with the product, and then I'll do the other side with another shade, and then I'll wipe it off and I'll start again so you can see every single shade in this palette on my skin. I really want this video to be as helpful as possible for you if you are deciding whether to purchase this palette or not, so definitely stay tuned to the end if you want to see all the shades in action. And I'm also going to be including my thoughts on the lip gloss in the shade Moon that launched at the same time as the blush palette. So jumping right on in, I just have to say, it is so beautiful aesthetically. I love the way that the palette looks, the pink to purple gradient and the raised moons. It is just so pretty. I feel like my nails kind of actually match it too. I do like beautiful things, so of course for me it is a pro that it is such pretty packaging. And then on the inside there is a mirror, which is very big, so if you were wanting to do your makeup with this, you definitely could. It's a giant mirror. I don't really care if mirrors are in palettes or not, especially because they're not the best for the environment, so I could have definitely gone without it. Here is what the blush palette looks like, and my first impression of this was definitely that it looks completely different in person than what it looked like online. I'm going to leave a picture on screen of one of the photos from this product on Sephora, and you can just see the difference is crazy. It looks so much lighter and paler online, so I can definitely see the good and the bad here. The good would be that in person, I would say it definitely seems like a lot more of an inclusive blush palette. I think that there is something here for everyone, so that's good, because I saw some criticism when the photos online showed up that this palette looked like it was only made for light skin tones, and I would definitely say that that's not the case after seeing it in person. But the bad side of that is if someone's buying this product based on the Sephora photo and they get this, I could definitely see someone being disappointed because it looks completely different, and anytime something is not what it's supposed to be, there's an opening for disappointment. So I just wanted to throw that in, that this is what it looks like in real life. I might even leave another picture that I took on my phone on screen as well, so you can see another picture of it in different lighting, because it's just so much more rich than I originally thought it was going to be. So I would say my overall feelings about this palette is that I like it, and that's kind of where I'm at. It's not like this super passionate, like this is my favorite blush palette ever, but it's not like it's bad either. It's just, it does the job. And I think honestly, I've always kind of been that way about blushes. It's not about this palette. It's always like, oh yeah, it works, or oh yeah, it looks kind of pretty, but it's never like, this is my favorite blush ever. It's just not like the things in makeup that I get super excited about. So I do like this with a utilitarian purpose, I think is what it's called, where it does the job. It gets what I need done. It adds blush to my cheeks. It blends out, but I'm not over the moon about it either. There is one shade here called Soleil, which is more of a satin. I would say that's my favorite blush in the palette because I think it has a really beautiful finish. All the other shades are matte, and I do feel like they're pretty pigmented, especially these four shades here. I do have to go in with a very light hand for my fair skin. You'll see in the blush swatches that they are pretty pigmented on me, and I kind of went in like full opacity for the blush swatches, but I definitely can use them going in a little bit softer, blending more, using a fluffier brush, or you could use a stipple brush. So I do like them. I feel like a lot of the shades look similar on my cheeks, and obviously, I mean, look at them, they're not all the same, but I feel like the overall vibe of this palette is kind of like a corally warm blush. The pink shade is probably the most different because it's like a light, pale, cool pink, but everything else on my cheeks I feel like kind of gives me like that same look, even though it's like kind of different intensities, and I have to be more careful with some, but overall it's just like that kind of coral blush look. So the variety in the palette is not necessarily my favorite ever. I think if you do not like a warm blush, this palette is not for you, because it does lean very warm for all of the shades except for Pink Moon. And I don't mind that because I like warm blushes, but it's just something I wanted to note. I also just wanted to say that even though like I said, I'm not over the moon about it, get it? Over the moon. Okay. Anyways, I wanted to say that when you do break down this palette, it retails for $35, which puts each blush a little bit over $5 each, which honestly I don't think is bad at all. That's even less than most drugstore blushes cost when you buy them individually. So I think that if this is your color, if this is your tones, if the palette in general is your aesthetic, it is not a bad palette by any means. I will definitely keep using it. Maybe after I've used it for a long time, I'll have more thoughts on it, but right now I'm just like, yes, it's pretty, it's blush. but it's just blush kind of thing. So it's not like revolutionary, but it is nice, and I do feel like overall Lunar Beauty makes pretty high quality products. However, I do have my first fail from them that I want to mention really quickly. And that would be the lip gloss in the shade Moon. I was so excited about this because it's super glossy looking. It's a really light nude shade. I'll even do a quick swatch for you just so you can see how it looks. And unfortunately, sometimes this happens with nude glosses. This is one of those glosses that separates on my lips, and it just doesn't look very flattering. It really crawls into the lines of my lips, and it's not good. I think it might just be the shade because I've never had issues with the shade Dreamy. I really, really like that one. So I am disappointed by this. I'm going to keep trying to make it work. It's not as bad as the Wayne gloss. It's not as bad as the Wayne gloss. The Wayne gloss. That's why I was confused. It's not as bad as the Wayne Goss gloss. Definitely found the gloss from Wayne Goss. Why is that so funny? This gloss in the shade Tulip from Wayne Goss, I definitely found to be worse of a formula, but either way, I don't necessarily like either of them, so that was a disappointment. I'm going to keep trying it and see if I can find a way to make it work, but as of right now, it is more of a fail than a favorite. So that's pretty much all I really have to say. It's nothing super in-depth about the palette. Like I said, I like it, and that's where I'm at. So let's go ahead and jump on into the face swatches.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling like the light has just come. We must never stop the way. Birds chirping and I hear my name, grasping into life. Life is happy but it's so insane. We must merely make a start. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah. Just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land. Let's go back to when we were young. For the animals we stand. Let's go back to when trees were swung. Kids across the Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah.
That is everything for today's video. I really hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.